You join us on Talking Points on Splash FM today, the 27th day in May 2021. Of course, the Children's Day edition, and also Open Day for today. My name is Michael Olatunbosun. Of course, it's Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan today. Let's talk. You know, the tradition of Open Day is to get you talking to us. So whatever it is that resonates with you in the news today, we're ready to listen to you. So have your say. That's the bottom line. Okay. But before that, I'd like to also say that today, being a Children's Day, there's a holiday for the children. I hope the children are enjoying the holidays. But beyond just having holidays, how about asking the policymakers, the purveyors of education and governance in the country, how far have you fared in promoting the welfare and well-being of the child? I remember that as an advocate of Child Rights Act in Nigeria, or the Child Rights Law, having won, a grant by Malala Fund to advocate for child rights in Nigeria, I've had, various levels of experience, and I thought that I should share a bit of it today. In 2017, or thereabouts, I was in Kaduna State where we were, setting up advocacy for the adoption of the Child Rights Act. And one thing that broke me really was the fact that at a certain day where they were going to have a public hearing on the Child Rights Law in Kaduna State, there was this argument about, how old should anyone be to be called a child. Of course, the Child Rights Act 2003 says that a child is anybody 18 and below. And in Kaduna State, they were debating 12, 13, and 14. And I was, come on, how can you do that in this country? But you see, Kaduna State, of course, adopted the Child Rights Law in 2018, thankfully. Of course, after pouring lots of water on the Child Rights Act. So you have 11 states in Nigeria that have not, or have refused, or have failed to adopt the Child Rights Law in their states. What are those states? They are predominantly in the northern part of Nigeria. Is it shocking or is it not shocking? I thought I should reverse the question. So for me, I was in Kano State also, campaigning for the adoption of Child Rights Law in 2018. And the experience was also unsavory. I need not, really say everything. Where you have Almajiri children everywhere. A state that should make education free and compulsory. Even at that base level, for primary school. So when you put other things in the box, let me just list the other things in the box. After the Child Rights Law, the Child Rights Act in 2003, by the federal government, you began to have states jostling or struggling to either adopt it or find one excuse or the other not to. Let me read a bit of what I could dig up. Nigeria adopted the Child Rights Act in 2003, and this gave legal consent to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. That Convention on the Rights of the Child should be about 1936 or so. I'm trying to remember, or 1986, okay? And the African Charter on Rights and Welfare of the Child. But with Nigeria's rickety federal system, the Child Rights Act is not automatically applicable in all of its 36 states. Each state legislature must adopt or domesticate the act, and only 25 of the 36 states of Nigeria have localized the Child Rights Act. Alarmingly, as of June 2020, 11 states, all of them in northern Nigeria, have yet to domesticate the Child Rights Act. There are no records of discussions or debates about the act in these states' legislatures, and it has been argued that other laws, including the Constitution, are able to protect children. You see, that's the base argument. But children in those states are still subject to practices like early marriage, female genital mutilation, and begging. Okay, so you also need to begin to factor in some other elements in this mix. Of course, the federal government also, enacted, the president signed into law in 2015, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, which is called the VAP Act in 2015. Oyo State is faring well, of course. In 2006, Oyo State was one of the earliest states that that adopted the Child Rights Act. So you have Child Rights Law 2006 in Oyo State. So when the federal government also enacted the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, Oyo State had its own version, Violence Against Women Law 2016. So how many states in Nigeria have adopted some of these laws? So you begin to ask a question about the plight of the child. And go back to what I was saying earlier. Holidays, would that be enough? So many states in the country are also declaring holidays to commemorate the Children's Day. But do these states have the child rights law enacted in their states? Or even if it will be a watered down version of the child rights law or the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, we would take it. These states need to go beyond just declaring public holidays. They need to provide education. And if you travel back to the 1999 Constitution as amended, you have the Chapter 2, which is a very contentious chapter in the Constitution, where it is said that you have to provide, the state will provide free education. And, very ambitious there, free education at primary, free at secondary, free at tertiary, and even adult vocational education. So that brings me again to this one. In 2004, yes, in 2004, so as a complement, and also a build up on the Child Rights Act, the federal government also had the Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act 2004. It also presupposes, or I should have used the word, criminalizes the parents who refuse to send their children to school. But in Nigeria, as we speak, over 10 million children are out of school. Who is the culprit in this matter? Those who enacted the laws, the government, or those who should implement the law, the policy makers, or all of them put together? Or maybe we should say all of us put together. So in your community, what is the plight of the girl child or the child himself, whether male or female? So if you travel again back to 2015 at the 70th session of the United Nations, where the leaders of the world gathered in New York and adopted what you call the Sustainable Development Goals, you have goal number 4, which has to do with education, lifelong learning, where every boy and girl have to have education. And then when you travel to goal number 5 that talks about gender parity, it tells you that you have to give every child, male or female, every adult, male or female, the opportunity to thrive and bloom and blossom in their countries or in their lands or communities. Again, is your state just doing the ceremonies and not doing the reality of the laws? In your state, for instance, how many children are out of school? There was a report recently about the government saying that it had taken 400,000 or so of children out of the streets. What is the reality in your own area? Let's talk today. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. And on top of that, the open day ritual. So what's in the news that resonates with you? I'd like to hear from you on the program today. Talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. So watch me live on Facebook. Just go to Splash FM, okay? Just do www.splashfm, facebook.com/Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan. You'll find the pictures. Oh, by the way, you like to look at my attire, right? Beautiful. Let's talk on the program today. After this commercial break, I'll bring my friends to the microphone. I have Goki and my friend who ran away from here from me, Olawumi Abdusalam. I will be bringing the two of them to the microphone. Let's talk today. It's Banter Day on the program Talking Points on Splash FM. Our commercial break. I'll be back in a moment.
Splash FM 105.5.
Oh my gonna for you. Hello?
Casey, baby, how far now? Shall you go free this Sunday? I won't spoil person pikin.
Hey, which Sunday?
This one now.
I know day.
Sunday after I'm come.
Every Sunday, I no go free.
Wetin happen?
You mean say you no know? New season of Nigerian Idol don land.
Yes, sir. Nigerian Idol don land. Better singing competition with talent wey sabi and plenty drama from the judges. Una go fit watch weekly shows from March 28 and every Sunday for Africa Magic Channel 2 by 7 p.m. sharp. So run, recharge your GoTV subscription on top my GoTV app or USSD star 288 hash to enjoy yourself. Na Techno Mobile and Biggie Drinks bring on this season of Nigerian Idol. GoTV. Love it.
Jẹ̀gbádùn èso ápù lóhun mímu inú làkàsẹ́rà. Ìgbádùn tí ò lábùlà. Adùn rẹ̀ yàtọ̀ gedegbe. Àwọ̀ rẹ̀ sì tún fanimọ́ra. Jẹ̀gbádùn aláìláfiwé nínú ohun mímu làkàsẹ́rà. Ó yàtọ̀. Mò ń gbádùn ẹ̀ gan-an ni o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ojúlówó Nasco cornflakes kún fún èròjà tí ń ṣara lóore tó dára nítorí wípé Old Flaked cornflakes náà ni. Old Flaked cornflakes ní apilẹ̀ṣe ní ìlànà tí gbogbo èròjà aṣara lóore inú rẹ̀ ò fi lè yingin. Oúnjẹ aṣara lóore ni, adùn inú rẹ̀ àfẹnuwó, ó sì dára fún gbogbo ẹbí. Nítorí náà, tí àtijẹ cornflakes bá dé, rí i dájú pé Old Flaked Nasco cornflakes ló yàn láàyò. Oúnjẹ aládùn tó dára ní gbogbo ìgbà.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting me cause all the shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Next time you're shopping for quality margarine, choose the one that's perfect for so many types of meals and has great value too. Choose Devon King's Margarine. Devon King's Margarine is available in stores and retail outlets near you. Choose unbeatable value. Choose Devon King's Margarine.
My people, better don land. Make una come see ogbonge cable wey dem manufacture for Obodo, Nigeria. Na Pure cables. Pure cables na correct electrical cable wey dey reliable, dependable, and the people wey dem make am call dey safety conscious. Pure cables get original copper and aluminium cable for different sizes dem wey you fit use for electrical wiring level for anywhere. Whether na your house, abi na your office, the price nko e no dey tear pocket at all. Nationwide distribution don start. For more information, call 0808 030 3257. 0808 030 3257. Pure Cable and Wire Limited. They have print compound. Fort Gate 122/132. Oshodia Papa Expressway. Iyano Solo Bus Stop, Lagos. Pure Cables. Nigerian Electrical Contractors endorse am. SON approval. Pure Cables. Na Yubico.
Splash FM 105.5.
right, it's still talking points on Splash FM today, the 27th of May, 2021. It's a Children's Day special. Of course, it's open day. It's banter time. I told you that you could join the conversation on the phone. I'll open the phone lines in a moment. I have Abdusalam or Wadud or Lawumi here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you?
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
Okay, so you came from Lagos, right?
Yes.
So how is Lagos doing?
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. You're getting along with the COVID.
Okay. So I hope you've taken your vaccine, right?
Yes. Remember my second jab.
Oh, you're waiting for your second jab?
Yes,
okay.
Jab. How about you?
I'm waiting for my second jab as well.
Okay.
So that makes so Goki, how are you doing, Goki?
I'm fine. It's nice to be here again, Michael.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, so let's see if we could just banter across, the nation. I told you could watch us on Facebook. Go ahead and do that right now. So if you'd like to contribute on the program today, that's also the platform to do that. And you can also tweet at us at Splash FM 1055. You can hashtag talking points. I'll be here to read your tweets. Okay, so let's talk about this one. It says this is the Vanguard. Children's Day. It's embarrassing. Pupils sit on floor. People still sit on floor, learning under trees in 2021. Reps. Here, let me read that story. The writer here says, say out of school children numbering 11 to 13 million. Okay, House of Representatives Committee on Basic Education and Services has said that it was an embarrassment to have school children still sitting on bare floor and learning under trees in Nigeria in 21st century. The committee also raised an alarm over the increasing number of out-of-school and not-in-school children, placing the number between 11 to 13 million in Nigeria. The committee's regrets were conveyed in a statement jointly signed by the chairman and deputy chairman of the committee, Honorable Julius Ihovere and Usman Zana, respectively, made available to Vanguard in Abuja Wednesday night. The statement, however, came on the heels of the 2021 Children's Day marked on May 27 of every year. The lawmakers have also bemoaned the dilapidated buildings on school premises with the risk they pose to children, also regretting that lack of water, playgrounds, adequate furniture, and toilets in many schools. Committee called on government to ensure that there was perimeter fencing of the schools to ward off strangers and hoodlums around them. So, this is Nigeria. This is, members of the House of Representatives also lamenting the problem about, poor infrastructure in education in Nigeria. You want to ask the question. Many states in Nigeria claim to be doing what you call free education. How free is their free education, Abdusalam?
It depends on the definition of what is free. When something is free, is it absolutely free? Or it's just free to a certain level? Because what they say is free is when you get admitted to the school, they will give you just a uniform. I guess some schools, some states, you have to pay for the uniform.
Okay.
They won't give you sandals. And then along the run, they will tell you that there are some teachers that are called PTA teachers. And if you want, they don't have teachers. The federal government or the state government is not giving them a particular teacher. Then if parents of the people in school will have to pay
self-help.
Self-help. They have to resort to self-help. But these things are present over the years. And are still with us today. It's even bad at the state of things now. The education, everybody is now seeing education as a key to development, which is absolutely true. What about the problems, the lack of infrastructures in the schools today? Imagine you said you're going to give me free school. You just give me school uniform. What about the sandals?
Okay.
It's a size book, writing materials. That is where that gives room for people to just use their philanthropy act. By saying, I will give them uniform, I'll give them sandals. However, they have hidden agendas doing this.
Okay.
So we can't absolutely say this is free. But just a level of freedom, which is still not acceptable.
Okay. All
right. You can't encourage them because this is what is considered guaranteed for people.
Okay.
And they are saying, I've been giving you this thing. You don't expect me to appreciate you for giving me what they consider guaranteed you to be doing. I can't appreciate you for that.
Okay.
But Nigerians, we have to tell them, since he's doing this for us, we have to appreciate.
Goki, what's your thought?
For me, it's sad because we need to understand that education is just more than coming to school to learn. We have to understand that conducive environment is part of education. It's part of learning. Okay. It's a disgrace that in 21st century we have students learning under the tree. Now we're talking about students not wanting to come to school or parents not willing to send their children to schools. And now we're talking about the poor conditions of the school themselves. And when I see leaders like this talk like this, I'm scared again for the country. Because if our leaders are the one now complaining, see, we've spent a whole lot of time talking about the problem. I feel it's time for us to look for the solution. This is 2021. The world is leaving Nigeria behind. We cannot continue like this. For Christ's sake. You talk about, and you know the funny thing is most of these states have money allocated for education.
Okay.
So what exactly are they doing with it?
Okay, so we're bringing our guest to the microphone in a moment. Before I let you guys go, this story, also in the Vanguard. Breaking, Buhari appoints Major General Farouk Yahaya as Chief of Army Staff. The President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, has today appointed Major General Farouk Yahaya as the new Chief of Army Staff to replace the recently demised General Ibrahim Atairu, who died in a fatal plane crash en route Kaduna State, along with other senior officers and crew members. Until Major General Farouk's appointment, he was GOC Division 1 and the incumbent theater commander of the counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency military outfit in the Northeast, codenamed Operation Hardin Kai. Okay, so we have a replacement for Atairu, who died last week. What's your thought on this, Goki? Let me start with you.
Of course, it's a welcome development. The position of the Chief of Army Staff cannot be left for long. Okay. Now, we lost the former Chief of Army Staff. So, of course, we must choose a new one. And, you know, there have been a lot of arguments to and fro from different bodies all around. Some people are saying, I think it's time for the person to come from the eastern part of the country. But, of course, President Muhammadu Buhari has disappointed them and has approved and has chosen a northerner instead.
Is it about the northerner or about the next imposition or about competence?
You see, there are a lot of things when it comes to selection to all of these positions. We should not forget that over the years, they've appointed people that are not the nest. This is not the first time the presidency is doing that.
Okay, but Absalam.
The president has a final decision when it comes to choosing the chief of staff.
And then the argument is that the president will choose those whom he knows and those whom he deems competent enough.
He has always been doing that. He has always been doing that. Those that he knows and those that he deems not minding the rank. This is not the first time he's doing it.
But the president has to know someone to trust them enough, isn't it?
I think the truth of the matter is they should stick with the rank. If Atairu was the next person,
with the rank.
It's fine. The next person should be there.
Okay, so Absalam, if you look at the pedigree of this man, he is an operations person. It says that he was GOC Division 1 and the incumbent theater commander of the counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency military outfit in the Northeast, codenamed Operation Hardin Kai. So he's an operations person.
He's an operation. That is what we need now. The fight against insecurity should be. We should go. We should attack. We need somebody on the field that already knows what is happening. Somebody competent that has the right pedigree to fight for us. Because if you are going with this insecurity, you are saying he has to choose somebody from the south, he has to choose somebody from the east. Let him choose somebody he feel is competent enough to fight for us.
I am not saying he should not choose somebody that is competent. I've only said that there are ranks in the military. The next in line should be the person there. Okay. If you're not competent in the first place, how did you get yourself into the military in the first place? But of course, they always talk about operations. I hope that they can be able to translate that to what we need presently in our security structure.
Atairu himself was an operations person.
So of course, it's just normal to bring somebody from operation, and of course, we expect the best from him. Okay. But I'm saying we should follow the rank.
Okay.
We should follow the rank, accepted. Yeah. But don't be the issue of choosing from them for the south. Let's go with competence.
I only talked about the speculations from different angles. I didn't say mine. I did not say mine.
Okay.
That was not my personal opinion. Okay. That's not from Arab.
Just edit.
Okay, guys.
I said it.
Guys, thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Absalam. Olawubi Wadud, thank you for coming. Goke, thank you too for coming.
Nigeria will be great again.
So when we come back from this break, my guests will be on the microphone during our conversation. I'll open the phone lines for us to get talking. It's still Talking Points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Please don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
If you had the clearest camera designed for the best selfies on a smartphone, where would you take your first picture?
Probably at the beach with the backdrop of the midnight skies.
At the cinema. It's dark and all, but for the best selfie, darkness shouldn't be a thing, right?
Or maybe I'll take it in front of my favorite Suya spot. Some soft light and legendary Suya in the background.
Wherever you choose, stand out with the new Techno Camon 17 smartphone. With its 48MP selfie lens for the clearest selfie, 64MP ultra-night camera for stunning pictures in low light, and the MediaTek Helio G95 processor for quality gaming and streaming performance. Techno Camon 17. It's time to stand out.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting because all the shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie, lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Come the 29th of May, we will bring Porto to your doorstep when the royalty of English football, Chelsea, the pride of London, and Manchester City, the unstoppable citizens, light up Europe to compete for the biggest prize in club football, the Champions League final. Smart Code Africa, Mabin Dynamics, and 1960bet are in joint collaboration to make your night magical on Champions Night at MOV 21 Event Center at Dioyo, Ring Road, Ibadan for the biggest gathering of European football lovers. Come watch the game on the biggest screen with friends and color mates. Meet your favorite OAPs in the city. You stand a chance to win amazing prizes at the Champions Night. Access code is a bet slip of 1960bet. Media partner Splash FM, Lagelu FM. For more inquiries, please call 080-557-94255 or 090-286-30747. This event is powered by 1960bet.
You don dey wait for am, the dying minute of the football season wey dey come with extra drama.
Eagerly awaited Manchester derby.
Better heartbreak.
He didn't get the goal then.
And the victory wey you go tell your pikin and your pikin dem. But anyhow it take happen, we dey gidigba with our team. Na for life.
There it is.
Na football wey make sense be this, and you no fit miss am. Stay connected on top your Go TV this whole month of May as football season don enter final lap. Go TV, love it.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ojúlówó Nasco cornflakes kún fún èròjà tí ń ṣara lóore tó dára nítorí wípé Old Flaked cornflakes náà ni. Old Flaked cornflakes ní apilẹ̀ṣe ní ìlànà tí gbogbo èròjà ṣara lóore inú rẹ̀ ò fi lè yingin. Oúnjẹ aṣara lóore ni, adùn inú rẹ̀ àfẹnuwó, ó sì dára fún gbogbo ẹbí. Nítorí náà, tí àtijẹ cornflakes bá dé, rí i dájú pé Old Flaked Nasco cornflakes ló yàn láàyò. Oúnjẹ aládùn tó dára ní gbogbo ìgbà.
You can rest assured we will take this jolly ride with you. Our bet is on you, 'cause you are a winner. We'll win with you. We'll run with you all the way. We'll share your dreams and we'll turn them to reality. We're invested in your tomorrow.
ARM, invested in your tomorrow. Splash FM 105.5.
All right, it's still talking points on Splash FM here in the city of Ibadan. Let me bring my next guest onto the microphone. Mr. Peter Aka is Investigation Officer, National Human Rights Commission. Welcome to Talking Points today, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
I'm not sure whether it is still fitting to, greet adults like you as say Happy Children's Day.
Once a child, always.
Let's talk about the rights of the child. I mean, the Child Rights Act, basically, within the Nigerian milieu. One big question for me is this. In 2003, the Nigerian government at the center, signed into law or enacted the Child Rights Act. And some states in the country, started, following suit. Or your state was one of those early, birds, in 2006. Your state also keyed into the Child Rights Act, train. You have many states in Nigeria that have adopted it. They have watered it down, to suit their own context and the rest of it. Tell me, as as someone who observes human rights situations across the country, what's your perception of how we have implemented the law across the nation?
Okay, so far we would say that some work has been done, but a lot still needs to be done. Fortunately, Oyo State is one of those states that has taken the step in domesticating these laws, not just the Child Rights Act, but they are always, at the fore of even the women's laws and the rest of them. So, but then again, having the laws or, domesticating these laws is one step, and then putting mechanisms and structures in place for these laws to be enforced is the next step. So it is a good thing that the law is there. Now we have the Child's Rights Law. So the next step is, what are the enforcements when somebody defaults, when these laws, the children know that they have these laws, what is the mechanism that is put in place to ensure that they are not deprived, or these rights that they have in these laws are not violated? That is another discussion.
I understand that. For instance, some of those, or one of those mechanisms and structures will be, I know that in the Child Rights Act, there's provision for family court. Of course. Your state also has got the family court.
Yes.
So that's one of the structures.
Yes.
What other structures are missing in this puzzle?
Well, generally, we have these instruments, which are the laws, and then we have the mechanisms. Yeah. We have the courts, we have the Human Rights Commission, Public Complaints Commission. So you would find out that the structures or the institutions actually exist.
Okay.
But when we talk about seeing it to the latter in terms of their efficiency, the building the trust and confidence in people that when I approach this institution, I will be able to get justice.
Yeah.
I will be able to get, restitution for whatever that has been taken, or the rights of these children will be, protected, and in such a way that we do not even wait for the rights to be violated, but from the cradle, these steps have already been taken to ensure that every child is just given that opportunity to live up to their God-given potential.
Talking about opportunity, the across the nation, the Child Rights Act itself, or the Child Rights Law in the case of states, seems to be observed in the breach most of the time. You have, they say that the safety of the child shall be the primary, the welfare of the child shall be the primary, concern of government.
Yes,
but from the look of things, does it really reflect the fact that we are a nation that, has laws at all in terms of how much of implementation we put to the table? I know that you've been talking about implementation. As National Human Rights Commission, tell me your experience in this area.
The unfortunate scenario that we have in this part of the world is that people believe that you can parent or you can father or mother a child, and it is God who takes care of the child.
Okay.
It is unfortunate and it is painful, because the child is left to bear, the suffering that is inflicted upon him, sometimes by the same persons who bore them. But the Human Rights Commission is here to ensure that whether or not spouses decide not to go ahead with their relationship, as adults, they have the right to do so. But the responsibility to that child or children must be carried out in line with laid down laws. So you can decide to say, okay, we are divorced. We have a pending court case. We have, we were not even legally married to say. But it is not important. The important thing is You have fathered this child. Now, the Section 3 of that law says that in every action that will be taken, whether by government or by, private individual parents, the best interest of the child must be put into consideration. And that is what the commission seeks to enforce, the best interest of that child in terms of all that is needed for the growth and development of that child.
So you have some practices that are not in the best interest of the child. You have so many children out of school. You have child marriage, or you have child brides almost everywhere. You
female
have
genital mutilation,
female genital mutilation, and so on and so forth. So, where do we go from here? What exactly? Okay, I will ask that question after this one. Basically, my concern for now is 11 states in northern Nigeria. I think Kaduna State adopted the law in 2018. So that cuts out the Kaduna State. So you now have 11. So you have Bauchi, you have Yobe, you have Kano. Kano that declared free education. They don't even have, they don't have implementations. Then Sokoto, you have Adamawa, you have Borno, you have Zamfara, you have Gombe, you have Katsina, even the president's state. You have Kebbi, you have Jigawa. These states are still lagging behind. National Human Rights Commission, as well as civil society, what efforts are you putting in place to make sure that these states understand the implication of not adopting the law?
As a commission, we try as much as we can in terms of advocacy and sensitization to make sure that people understand. And if you look at the trend in the country today, you can almost draw a direct line from, the lack of, care of a child to what we have as instability in the country today. Until we take care of the family state, we cannot have a stable society. The person who you call a bandit today, the person who you call a terrorist at some point was a child. So it is the culmination of the actions or events that happened or did not happen during that period of childhood to adulthood that now leads to the kind of adults that you would now have. So whenever we have the opportunities, we meet with government, we prepare trainings, for government official law enforcement agencies to see that it is in the best interest of the society to not just have these laws, but to see that they are enforced. Because the child that you refuse to take off the streets today might in the near future not even allow you to move on that street. So that is where the commission comes in and continues to, put pressure on government. Let us see how we have the mandate of the commission actually permits us, to interface with the National Assembly or state assemblies, the legislators generally, to see laws that will be compliant to human rights, and especially when it comes to children. Because when you miss it at the stage of the child, you are likely to miss it. Even in the future, because automatically you would reap, we will bear the brunt of what we neglected, at the very instance or the onset of that child's or that person's life.
So ultimately, where do we go from here? What do you want from all of us, society and government? What do you want?
Everybody has a role to play. You do not protect the rights of a person because you know the person. You protect the rights of a person because you are also a human being who has rights that needs to be protected. So when you see a violation, when you see somebody, a child in distress, maybe child abuse, child labor, you can easily report to the commission and maintain your anonymity. And then whilst you continue to, go about this advocacy and sensitization in whatever way you can, whether it is in the media, religious institution, traditional, everybody is a stakeholder when it comes to issues of human rights.
0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 493 3000. Let's attempt to attend to a call or two before we go. I'm still speaking with Mr. Peter Aka, his investigation officer, National Human Rights Commission. Okay, one of those big issues for me, I have a caller here. Let's attend to this caller. It's not 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 07069 493 3000. Those are the numbers to call if you'd like to join the conversation for today. Okay, so let's see if you'd like to be a part of the conversation while we're waiting. There's this concern for me. You mentioned it earlier. a lot of children are, a lot of people give birth to children and they dump them to, just leave them to chance. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Additional calling from Ibadan.
Mr. Additional, let's talk very quickly, sir.
I want, briefly on this issue of free education.
Yes, sir.
I don't think there has been a time when education was completely free in Nigeria.
Okay.
Even in the late 50s, when we were in primary school, what you are giving in primary one was just a slate, and then a piece of chalk per day. And by the time you are in primary 2, you will buy your books. At the end of every year by December, you are given the list of books.
Okay.
You have to buy everything and bring it to school. And the only thing you don't do is that we don't pay any school fee. That was all.
Okay.
But for all the materials you use, you buy for it. And even at that time, all the grammar schools and secondary schools, you have to pay before you get it. So,
all right.
Except in 1979 and 83, when the UPN government tried to buy uniform, books, and everything, I think that educational system at that time has affected us in a way now, in the sense that people are looking for free things.
Everything free.
And which is now becoming very difficult for any government to operate.
But the governments are the ones saying free education. Nobody has pressed anybody to, free education.
Exactly, because they wanted, they know that was what we were waiting to hear from any government.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Additional. I like that line of thought. Okay, Mr. Peter Aka, caller here. Let's attend to this one before we go now. Hello, good afternoon.
Comrade Sado, for you.
Comrade Sado, let's talk, sir.
I want to ask the human rights officer how efficient are they in this present time? And as human activists, if they are not doing well, I decided to take them off. How will that go? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Comrade Sado Imodagbe. I hope you heard him there. So, how fit are you? As National Human Rights Commission, and then he says that if we take you to to the courts or whatever, challenging whether you are doing your job or not. How fit are you?
I would not want us to jump the gun. Let him try to report a case, or if he has had an encounter with the commission, and then let us see if it is not attended to. Then we can take it from there instead of preempting the commission. But I think that we are in a good place. It can be better anyways.
Yeah, so you just brought a thought to mind. I know that in the violence against persons law, violence against women law in Oyo State, 2016, there is a provision there that says that if you know that a child is about to be cut, in terms of female genital mutilation, and you are also complicit, then you can also be, arrested and prosecuted. Those are some of the issues. While you were speaking, you're saying that people need to report,
of course,
and come up with this matter so that we can solve them. But it looks like people are always afraid of coming up to report cases because they think that once you report, they give you away. They even report you to the person whom you have reported to them. How much of integrity do we have in all these things to make sure that people come out?
Aside even people not coming to report, you have even seen parents of victims, maybe a minor that was raped, coming out to say that we do not want to go ahead with this matter. So there are different phases to what could keep a person. Sometimes it is the societal stigmatization. Sometimes it's economic, disadvantage position that the victim is. We have seen a mother who said, I'm not ready to prosecute because the person who assaulted or who sexually assaulted my daughter is one of my customers. She patronizes my beer parlor, and she wasn't, it was an issue, but we stood our grounds and then we said, let the courts decide. So there are various issues that could, prevent a person from coming up, but they should be addressed. And even the society should know that when a person comes out to speak up, it is not a time to stigmatize or blackmail, as it were.
All right, so I guess we have to go now. But we will follow up on this conversation. I will need to have you back again sometime soon for us to really, break down some of these provisions, particularly break down the provisions in the Child Rights Act and other laws, that have to do with children and all that. Mr. Peter Aka, Investigation Officer, National Human Rights Commission. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
All right, so the job is done for today. But before I go, I need to say thanks to all of you who, cooperated with us, who, did one thing or the other to make sure that we succeeded in our Splash FM Oratory Contest 2021. Yesterday, it was a bomb. And the people, really testified to the fact that the future is bright for Nigeria. We listened to young ones yesterday who spoke about their dreams of the future of Oyo State particularly. The topic was envisioning the future, the Oyo State of my dreams. Secondary school children came up yesterday and spoke, displaying logic and emotion and stats and all that. And then you need to understand that the way to catch them young is to get them involved in understanding, in translating and interpreting the current state of the nation and providing solutions to it. Thanks to everybody. My name is Michael Olatunbosun. Please make sure you do everything within your power to make this nation better. Do not dump refuse in the waterways. Enjoy the rest of the day, okay?
Here is